What's up guys, Gabriel Varga here. You guys know me, you know I fought for K1, Bellator, Glory, some of the big promotions over in China. I have a good amount of insight into what it takes to sign with these promotions. So today we're going to discuss the extra things you can do in your fight career to make sure these elite promotions want you in their roster. So last week, as you guys probably know, or maybe not yet, I was down in LA doing some filming with some other awesome YouTube channels, Fight Tips. Both their videos are up already, you can check them out. And also The Modern Martial Artist, that video is going to be coming out soon. And while I was down in LA, I thought it would have been fantastic to sit down with Scott Coker and say, okay Scott, we know everybody, all these big promotions, want the fighters to have that phenomenal record. But what are the extra things the fighters can do that will make them stand out to these big promotions, that will get those promotions sending them messages saying, we want to sign you. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to happen this time. I'll make that happen in the future. But today we're going to sit down and talk about what I think these promotions are looking for. And I do have some great insight on this because I've been fortunate enough now to get signed by K1, Glory, Bellator, and a couple promotions over in China. They must like what I'm doing. So I'm going to share with you guys today what I've been doing and what I think will help you get signed with those big promotions in the future. Step number one, guys, you need to be an exciting fighter. These promotions do not want to sign guys, especially in MMA, who are going to come in, take their opponent down, hold them there, and make a boring fight. I've trained with and seen many fighters cut from the UFC or be on the brink of getting signed with them, and then they're just pushed aside and forgotten because they have one fight where they take the easy route, just holding their opponent down and not really putting much risk out and not putting up that exciting fight for the fans. Now, you don't need to put yourself in jeopardy of getting KO'd every moment, just coming in winging punches. But if you are in that position where you're winning the fight, pulling back and not staying on the attack, that right there is going to be the wrong approach because these guys want excitement. And in so many of my fights, when I've already won the first and second round, I am still going after my opponent, still making the fight exciting. And the promotion loves that, and they'll keep you around and they'll re-sign you. Make an exciting fight because there are a number of fighters who will take the boring route to victory. And I'll be the first to agree that that's not a foolish route. If you know you can pick somebody apart or smother somebody and win the fight and you're safe, that's great. But while you are trying to sign with these promotions, before you get to that point where you're almost a Glory World Champion or a Bellator World Champion, you want to make sure these promotions know that you will put on a good fight for them. So if you're still in your amateur career or early stages of your pro career and you really want to get the notice of these guys, make sure you are throwing down and your pace is electrifying and you're throwing in a variety of techniques, keeping it always entertaining for the fans. That's what I want to watch. That's what you guys want to watch. That's what all the fans want to watch. Make it happen. Step number two is going to be personality. Now you can go the one route where you have the dynamic personality like Floyd Mayweather or Conor McGregor. Or you could go the other way where you're going to be the clean-cut martial artist like myself or George St. Pierre. Or maybe you're going to be like Michael Page or Michael Bisping where you're going to be a bit more of a villain. Either way, you just need to have something in your personality that makes these promotions go, you know what, this guy is saleable in the ring, but also outside the ring, on camera, or behind the microphone. Your personality, or at least portraying a personality, is going to be a huge asset for these big promotions and is going to be fantastic for you if you want to be a star. The next step is going to be your opponents. Who are you fighting? You want to beat high-level, notable name opponents. You could easily be a pro MMA fighter who has a 10-0 record, which looks great up front. But then when you start digging deeper, you notice, oh, this guy hasn't fought anybody. And there's two problems with that. Number one, the promotions know that record is padded and they're not going to be as interested in you. If you can go and beat people that they maybe let go, that have been kicked off their roster, they're going to go and be, okay, you know what, this guy beat a former UFC or a former Bellator fighter. That looks great on the resume. And number two, if you are fighting cans your whole career, when it comes time to get with those big promotions, you are not going to be fighting low-level fighters anymore, and you're going to be way out of your depth. Through my whole amateur career, we were trying to find the best fighters. Guys from Australia who were undefeated, guys from Romania who are knocking people out. We were going after the best. And then when I turned pro and all of a sudden they're throwing me in against Lordzilla who was a, I think Rajamat champion, or going into glory right away, fighting Yuta Kubo, who was the #1 in the world, you're not right away going, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get destroyed here because I haven't fought anybody who's any good. Get yourself notable named opponents who are going to make you a better fighter, but also get the respect of these elite promotions. You beat those guys and you're doing yourself a big favor. The next step is going to be win those championship belts. Now, if you're within MMA, there are lots of small promotions that UFC and Bellator keep their eyes on, and quite often those champions get snagged up and get that contract with those big promotions. If you're in kickboxing, you want to go after major organization belts. And for me, I went after ISKA because I knew they were the sanctioning body for K1 previously, and it turns out they ended up being the sanctioning body for Glory and then Bellator. So if you can become an ISKA world champion, that definitely gives you a leg up on all those other champions out there. The more belts you can win, the better. I went after 3 belts before I got signed by Glory. 2 of them were professional, WKN and WKF, and then the amateur ISKA belt, which I defended a number of times and won belts in multiple weight classes. Keep busy, win belts. It's gonna make a difference when you can show those big promotions that you have that hardware. And one final step, which is sort of a Hail Mary, is when you're in your fights, if you can do a spectacular technique and get a big KO that goes all over social media, you can sometimes earn a Bellator or UFC contract off just that. And I know a number of guys who have actually accomplished this. So if you're willing to take a risk in your fight and bust out a crazy move and have some drama and theatrics behind it, you have a good chance of getting into UFC or Bellator. So there you have it, guys. My 5 steps to increase your likelihood of getting signed with those big promotions. Number 1, be an exciting fighter. Number 2, establish a personality for yourself that is saleable. Number 3, fight notable named opponents who are going to put you on the map when you beat them. Number 4, win championship belts. And number 5, if all else fails and you're waiting for that call, throw out a dynamic move in your fight and get on the news. Get noticed, be all over social media. That will help you get signed. Thanks for joining me today, guys. If you can come up with any additional ideas that might help fighters get into those big elite promotions, comment below, let them know. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you get subscribed, and I'll see you back here again soon for another video.